You have a look on African continent, in East African part, in the Great Lakes region, you see a very good country or 1,000 years called Rwanda. This country is identified by cleanness, peace, security, and more development activities. Rwandans are good people with the same culture and language, hardworking people, they like leisure and entertainment. The greetings are Mwaramutse, Muraho, and Yesashime. Different churches in Rwanda are working voluntarily to spread the good news of salvation and proclaiming God's love through development activities leading to the welfare of Christian beneficiaries and all Rwandans in general. Religion in Rwanda is dominated by Catholic Church, Protestant Church, and Islam. All are working together with a good relationship. Catholic Church was the first to launch the evangelical mission at Save, Southern Province, in 1900. After 7 years of Catholic evangelism, the Protestant missionaries from Germany and Tanzania came in, so-called Bethel Mission, in Eastern Province of Rwanda, and do the evangelical mission, which gave birth to the first Protestant church in Rwanda. In 1907, the Bethel German missionaries began what called Presbyterian Church in Rwanda through the evangelization made at Zinga in Rwamagana district, Kilinda and Rubengera in Karongi district, and Remera Rukoma in Kamonyi district. The church kept grows up with evangelization.
Nitwa Pascal Bataringaya, ndi pastori kandi nkaba na perezida w'itorero Presbyterienne mu Rwanda. Itorero Presbyterienne mu Rwanda ni ryo torero rya protestant ryageze muri iki gihugu bwa mbere nyuma y'uko abamisiyoneri b'abagatolika baje kubwiriza ubutumwa bwiza muri iki gihugu. Hari mu mwaka w'igihumbi 1907 uko abamisiyoneri b'Abadage bari baturutse i Bethel muri misiyo ya Beteli baje bakagera muri Tanzania, hanyuma baza kuzana n'abanyatanzania bagera mu Rwanda, bahingukira hariya hitwa Izinga, ubu ni mu ntara y'Iburasirazuba mu karere ka Rwamagana. Aho rero niho icyitwa itorero Presbyterienne mu Rwanda uyu munsi ryatangiriye.
After the First World War, the German missionaries were replaced by Belgians. Then the church kept grows up. In 1959, the church began working autonomously and chose to be governed within the system of elders' councils. Because of this governing system, the church took the name Evangelical Presbyterian Church in Rwanda. The main mission was to expand the church throughout the country. In 1967, the supreme organ of the church took place and concluded that it was no longer necessary to use the term evangelical in its name because evangelization is the mission of the whole church. After the Synodal Council of 1967, the name EPR, Presbyterian Church in Rwanda, was introduced. Since the beginning of Presbyterian Church in Rwanda, EPR, many Synodal Councils have been held and many activities done through the Leaders and Elders Councils. At the time of Pastor Nason Hitimana, the church has been built. Temples, schools, hospitals, and other churches buildings. The same time, the Protestant Council in Rwanda was introduced. After Pastor Nason Hitimana and his co-workers continued to expand the church throughout the country and establish what called regions. In 1984, through the partnership with Netherlands Protestant churches, they introduced the diaconate community in Rwandera Presbytery. In 1994, the genocide, where church members, pastors, and many members of elders' councils perished. The church buildings, schools, temples, and hospitals were destroyed. When the country was in disastrous situation, Rwandans and Christians in general were traumatized. Reverend Dr. Andrew Karamaga, who was serving in the community of Christian churches in Africa, SETA, Reverend Professor Elise Musemakweli, who was continuing his studies in Europe together with other church pastors, they came back and restored the church's services. They introduced the faculty of theology in the Protestant school in order to produce other capable pastors because many were killed during genocide. Others fled outside the country and others were jailed because of their genocide participation. This school was so helpful to many churches by producing other pastors with basic theological knowledge. In 2007, after the church jubilee celebration, which gathered all Presbyterians and discussed the long journey from the beginning until now, the church's General Assembly decided to introduce the new program of church decentralization. This was to facilitate the church members to find solutions for themselves within their parishes and regions. In 2008, it has been introduced the first phase of church decentralization to the parishes and regions, the staff in charge of development in order to help church members in their development. Also, they trained preachers and several various trainings for many activities needed done and bring nearest the people where the evangelization needed. The second phase of church decentralization has been in 2014, where all things located in church headquarters, then after 7 presbyteries created and their leaders who are the church's speakers even at the legal department and the church level. The church continued to have a good vision of building a strong church which Christians are spiritually mature, able to testify of God's kingdom in the world and whose social environment is fully blossomed. Those targeted to the main church vision of evangelizing, proclaiming the love and the salvation offered by God through His Son Jesus Christ. Matthew chapter 28, verse 19 to 20. Churches' activities and works are headed by the president, who is the legal representative of the church. He is assisted by deputy legal representative.
Ni Pastor Julie Kandema, nkora hano mu itorero Presbyterian mu Rwanda. Hano ku biro bikuru ariko umurimo tunawukorera no hanze mu maparuwasi ayigize. Usibye kuba ndi vice president w'itorero, ushinzwe na porogaramu yo gukora ku itorero ku rwego rw'igihugu. Igizwe n'amashami atandukanye, harimo ishami rishinzwe umugore n'umuryango, harimo ishami rya diakoni, naho harimo umukozi, harimo nanone ishami ry'urubyiruko, naho harimo umukozi, ishami rijyanye n'ivugabutumwa, kora mu buryo bw'amaparuwasi atandukanye.
Program of Administration and Financial Management, which follows all financial related activities and churches' patrimonies, churches' workers, and the establishment of policies, lead the church to self-reliance. Education program, which follows the implementation of basic education, related works in primary and high school of the church, and other programs that lead to development of churches, Christians, and the country in general. Health program, which enable Rwandans to be so healthy in providing the very needed services in different hospitals, health centers, and provision of training related to health services. On presbytery level, activities are followed by the following programs. Program in charge of presbytery development, program in charge of administration and financial management, program in charge of development in general. On parish level, daily activities are followed by following councils, commissions, and committees: Spiritual Council, Evangelical Commission, Development Commission, Hosting Commission, Diaconic Committee, Youth Committee, Women Committee, Choirs Union Committee, and Musicians Committee. On basic church level, daily activities are followed by the Executive Committee and basic church members' participation. All those administrative organs are working towards evangelization throughout the country. Early childhood assistance, youth workshops toward best future, ensuring family welfare, ensuring basic education for all, rural development, health activities, good governance, fair financial management, management. In terms of evangelization, the evangelization is done through more than 4,000 basic churches, more than 200 parishes led by pastors holding bachelor's degrees or those who received short training so that they can preach the word of God. All those parishes are dispersed through the 7 presbyteries that make the Presbyterian Church in Rwanda. Some of the activities of the evangelization are training of the evangelists at all levels, evangelization campaigns like the one known as Documentaire, biblical sensitizations, pastoral retreat, churches and presbyteries buildings, leading young children in the good way. These activities are accomplished through Sunday school program, helping the children to study the Word of God, to pray and to learn the behavior of Christians and of the church in general. There are preparations of children gatherings, seminars for pastors and Sunday school teachers within their presbyteries and parishes. Mentoring the youth for self-sustenance. The youth constitutes a considerable part of Christians in the Presbyterian Church of Rwanda. That is why the High Council of the Church requested a special care for them. The youth committee in the church oversees the different youth groups, among which primary school children, secondary school and university students, musicians, singers and youth in general.
Muri makeya ibi bikorwa harimo kwita ku rubyiruko mu mibereho ya buri munsi no mu buryo bw'umwuga. Aho dusanga ivugabutumwa ahantu haboneka urubyiruko hose rikorwa buri cyumweru, haba amashuri makuru ya segonderi, haba amashuri y'amasegonderi arimo arajatra, amakaminuza mu miryango ihuza abanyeshuri, muri makeya ku buryo urubyiruko rugerwaho mu buryo bwose. Ndetse hariho no kwigisha urubyiruko rudafite akazi uburyo bwo kwibeshaho, aho muri Best Future Center urubyiruko rubasha guhabwa amahugurwa atandukanye ndetse bamwe bakabasha no kwihangira imirimo. Ubu ngubu hari abafite restaurant, hari abafite studio, hari abafite salon de coiffure n'izindi zigiye zitandukanye. Hariho rero no guteza imbere ibikorwa by'imyidagaduro ndetse no guhanga udushya. Hariho kwigisha urubyiruko kandi kurinda no gufata neza ibidukikije, aho nko muri gahunda yiswe Youth Action Day ihuza urubyiruko mu matorero yose abarirwa mu muryango witwa VEM United Evangelical Mission. Urubyiruko mu itorero dutera ibiti birenga 5,000 buri mwaka, ndetse muri icyo cyumweru hakaba no gushishikariza ndetse no kubakangurira uburyo bwo kurinda ibidukikije, ibiganiro bitambuka ku maradiyo ndetse n'ahandi hagiye hatandukanye.
Teach the youth about reproductive health, coordinate Presbyterian youth clubs, cooperatives, and other associations activities at local and international level. Assemble university students in their union called PSA and following them up after graduation in their union called Agape. Promote music, encourage musicians' gifts through the association called Page. The church also helps vulnerable people for self-development and overcoming of various problems through the diaconate department. This department helps sick people, prisoners, people living with disabilities, and poor students, paying school fees for them. After completing their studies, those students try to help other poor students through what is called Girubuntu Foundation. In addition, the diaconate also visits patients at the health facilities and prisoners, pays community-based health insurance premiums for poor people, and it helps people living with disabilities, providing school fees to students coming from poor families through the program of supporting the vulnerables.
Uwo muco mwiza w'Abanyarwanda wo gutabarana, ngira ngo diakoni ntabwo iwacu udutungura, ahubwo ni umuco dusa naho dukomeza kubyuba Kristo. Mbere yo gutanga n'imfashanyo yaba ibishyimbo byaba ibindi bintu watanga, ibijumba cyangwa se imyambaro, hikubitaho no kubanza kubasengera bw'umuntu ibyiringiro. Burya kubwira umuntu ijambo ryiza ni ikintu kimurema, kiramwubaka, kandi abantu bagomba kugira ibyiringiro. Naho waba ufite ibibazo none, ejo Imana yagutabara kandi ufashijwemo na bene so.
In addition to preaching the word of God, care for the children, the youth, and the vulnerable, the church also has the responsibility to sustain the Rwandan community, where the Women and Family Program organize biblical trainings, gender-based violence prevention, seminars for pastors, spouses, and raising the knowledge of women about financial management.
Nk'uko mubizi iyo umuntu yigishije umugore aba yigishije umuryango we, aba yigishije itorero, aba yigishije igihugu. Abagore rero kubera umwanya bafite mu muryango nk'abanyina w'abantu, nk'abafasha b'abagabo babo, nk'abagahuza imiryango k'imiryango bagiye bakomokamo, abagore binyuze mu matsinda, muri aya matsinda yo kwiga Bibiliya, binyuze mu materaniro n'amahugurwa yabo yihariye, binyuze mu nyigisho zabo bahora bakora zihariye, abagore biga ibintu bitandukanye, banarenze n'ubucuruzi buciriritse, kuko kugeza ubu dufite n'abagore bafite uruganda ni koperative yitwa Koperabu y'abagore bo muri paruwasi ya Bubazi, benga umutobe w'inanasi, imitobe y'amatunda, imitobe y'imbuto, imitobe uzwi ku izina ryitwa agahebuzo.
In order to ensure long-term development for Rwandans, the education is one of the aspects that is valued in the Presbyterian Church in Rwanda. The church oversees more than 120 schools through the country. The main vision is to raise the quality of education. This program organizes teachers' trainings on how to increase infrastructure. It also helps the youth studying in different activities. Briefly, it will teachers' capacity and train them about education, raising teachers' knowledge.
Muri ino parisi harimo ama-charts, ni ibishushanyo harimo dukoresha muri set, harimo nka za respiratory system, circulatory system, ndetse n'izindi sources dukoresha twigisha sciences.
Ikindi kigaragara kuri utungutu nuko iyo dukora teaching aid imfashanyigisho nuko ngo ntabwo dukenera bya bintu bihenze.
Open technical branches in order to help youth learn and be professionally competitive on the market labor. Assist the youth associations in secondary schools, promote unity and reconciliation associations, support sports activities and innovations for secondary school students.
Nitwa Imana Ishimwe Jean Dodier, yiga mu mwaka wa 4 ndeme n'ubuvanganzo. Nanjye nagize uruhare mu kwandika kino gitabo, aho ku ipaje ya 8 nanditse inkuru ivuga nayihaye umutwe uvuga ngo the conflict is not variable in real life, cyangwa se amakimbirane nta gaciro ahabwa iyo hari urukundo rw'ukuri.
Kujyanye n'ishami ry'uburezi, ni ishami rigamije guteza imbere uburezi mu itorero, ahanini ryibanda ku myigire baba bana bo mu itorero ryacu ndetse n'abana b'u Rwanda muri rusange. Tukaba rero dufite amashuri atandukanye atanga ubwo bumenyi. Tugira amashuri y'incuke, tukagira amashuri abanza, hakabamo amashuri yisumbuye, ariko tukanagira amashuri ajyanye n'imyuga bw'igihe gitoya kuva ku mezi 6 kugeza ku mwaka. Ndetse no muri iyi minsi itorero ryatangije gahunda nziza yo kwita ku bana ubundi tubona batari bitaweho muri sosiyete, cyane n'abana bafite ubumuga.
After gaining knowledge and capacity, they go and contribute to their own development, the country development, and even the whole world development in general. Concerning development, the church has started a developmental program aiming at developing those rural areas in presbyteries located and working far from infrastructures. In this matter, they renovate parishes' infrastructures, provide water, create associations for credit and saving, training Christians on how to increase increase the crops and how to care and protect the environment. Among those developmental activities we may cite providing selected seed to more than 1,000 farmers each year in order to raise the farmers' crops, distributing more than 40,000 plants at different prices in order to care and protect the environment. The following are some developmental activities. Provide solar energy for some parishes and to some Christians who need it. Provide safe drinking water like in Eastern region where they didn't have safe water. The church renovated water canals. Again in the church, they encourage giving where they started a program called Hope Twinning, in which Presbyterian members unite and put together their capacities in order to help some of them who have some good projects but for which they lack funds for launching them. This is a partnership giving hope. That is reinforced by technical schools like the one in Rwanda, which helps children and their parents in self-development through various handcrafts such as sewing, woodworking, building, and others. The church doesn't care only for the regular youth but also for street children, which some people think that it is not necessary to care for them. The church opened a center called Presbyterian Center for Youth Love. That center receives and cares for orphans. They train them in many technical works. They pay school fees for them and integrate them in families. Other activities of that center: receive the children in the center, reintegrate children in schools, reintegrate children in families, train the children on various technical professions, following up and supporting them until they reach long-term development. The church again cares for children living with disabilities, where in Kigali Presbytery at Busanza there is a special school for them where they can gain adequate knowledge like other Rwandans. The health aspect has not been forgotten by the church because they know that a healthy spirit must dwell in a healthy body. That is why the church has built its own hospitals and health centers. That is how the medical coordination of the church supervises 8 health facilities, among which 2 district hospitals, Remera, Rukoma, and Kirinda, as well as 6 health centers, Biguhu, Kirambo, Kirinda, Remera, Rukoma, Rubengera, and Rwahi. The 2 hospitals provide internal medicine services, antenatal care, surgical services, and nutritional services. There are also some specialized services like dental and eye services, orthopedic services, prevent maternal and neonatal deaths. The health centers provide following services: outpatients consultation, skin diseases, maternal hospitalization, physical trauma hospitalization, immunization, family planning, nutritional services, prevention of HIV/AIDS service, and other services delivered in health facilities. Apart from those health services delivered at health facilities, the church has other projects helping people in well-being at their living place, where they help youth clubs fighting against HIV/AIDS in different parishes and schools. There are also other projects that the church runs in partnership with other churches and NGOs, like eradicating epidemic diseases and fighting malnutrition in under 5 children, helping families to know how to prepare nutritious food. With all the groups of food in Karongi district, 332,000 children have been helped, and the project will expand to other districts.
cyane cyane icyo twibandaho twebwe ni stunting, ni ukugwingira. Byagaragaye ko umwana iyo agwingiye muri iriya myaka iyo hasi y'imyaka 2, muri kiriya cyiciro cyo hasi y'imyaka 2, iyo umwana agwingiye kugira ngo azaveyo ntabwo byoroha. Ashobora kuzarinda bisaza nagakura akaba umusore akaba umugabo akabyara akagira gute, ariko ingaruka zo kugwingira zikimuriho.
Like other Rwandan citizens, the church is also involved in building Rwandan unity through the Unity and Reconciliation program, where wherever the church is implanted, you find unity and reconciliation clubs for peace building. Like in the Remera Presbytery, you find a club having genocide survivors together with genocide perpetrators who pleaded guilty of genocide crimes. The Presbyterian Church has been the first to build genocide memorial sites in order to preserve history and to ensure that genocide never happens again. In Kirinda Presbytery, Karongi District, and in Remera Presbytery, Kamonyi District, you find national memorial sites for the church. The church also has ways of conflict management at all levels so that people may remain united and continue accomplishing the will of God. In the technology and media domain, the church has its own journal called Kubake, aiming at building Rwandan society through very various and useful information. They also have a website named www.eprrwa, and they give some talks on the radio. Briefly, anyone who needs news that can build Rwandan society and the country in general may consult the Quarterly Journal, the church's website, the radio and television, and even on the leaflets available in the church's archives, where permission for access can be provided if requested. The church provides different trainings to raise biblical knowledge to pastors through the Documentation and Training Center, CFD. During these trainings, there is opportunity to exchange and be trained on research on various topics. They contribute also to giving information on what it is accomplished by other churches in Rwanda and promote good relationship with them.
CFD ishyigikira kandi ishyirisha mu bikorwa umubano itorero presbyterienne mu Rwanda rigirana n'andi matorero ya protestant ndetse na Kiliziya Gatolika n'umuryango w'Abayisilamu.
The CFD prepares documentations used in basic churches where you find different biblical topics chosen according to the spiritual needs of Christians, allowing open discussions, comparing them to the daily life challenges of the members. The center thus helps people in research and training as well as in gaining more religious knowledge. You may be wondering how the church survives, where it gets sustainable means.
Presbyterienne mu Rwanda rifite uburyo bw'ingenzi bubiri mu kwinjiza umutungo cyangwa se amafaranga. Igice kinini kijyanye n'amafaranga yinjira aturutse mu mirimo cyangwa se mu bukode bw'amazu cyangwa se ubukode bw'amacumbi cyangwa amazu yakira abagenzi. Ubu bibarirwa mu cyo twise big cyangwa se isosiyete itorero ryashyizeho kugira ngo igicunga ibijyanye n'ibyo yakira ibijyanye n'ibyo byo kwakira abantu. Akaba ariho hambere dukura amafaranga, andi mafaranga akaba aturuka mu baterankunga, tuzi abaterankunga cyangwa se abafatanyabikorwa, haba ab'imbere mu gihugu cyangwa se abo hanze y'igihugu. Ahandi amafaranga ashobora kuva ni mu makontribution cyangwa se mu mpano zinyuranye itorero rishobora kubona.
The church is supported by the Christians, helped by income activities like guest houses, houses for rent, development projects, and so on. In addition, the church is supported by different partners, helping the church in developmental projects, education, health, and programs fighting AIDS. The church also promotes partnership with other churches in Rwanda and even at international levels.
Icyo twifuza rero nuko itorero ryakura mu bwiza, mu bwinshi, mu butunzi, ugasanga iby'ubugingo n'iby'ubuzima busanzwe byose ubibona. Umukristo akaba umukristo wuzuye, umuntu akaba umuntu wuzuye koko waremwe mu ishusho y'Imana. Iyo rero niyo ntumbero dufite. Twifuza ko itorero presbyterienne mu Rwanda rizakomeza rikagikeraho.
The church is ready to work together with other people worldwide with the same good vision. Thank you.